Hello and welcome everyone, Tyrael here. This is my second and unfortunately final video on my anti-air base. Now this base right here, as you see it now, works great. And as you can see, these defenses are from before the last update. At least some of them. The last defense is not. So why is this anti-air? Well, you've got the Archqueen generally towards the center. It's very difficult to draw her out. It's not impossible to draw her out, but it's very difficult. And I have multi-target Inferno Towers, meaning the things that actually damage the Town Hall can't get to it. The Lava Pups and the minions all die as soon as they get close. All of my little skeleton traps are set to air, and you'll notice I have the walls right around the Town Hall, so the balloons can't destroy the Town Hall. You got Tesla close to there, they shred the balloons. You have all 4 of my air defenses covering the Town Hall, overlapping each other, and every single expo in a triangle is facing up. So they're going to be shooting, I'm doing maximum damage to air, and I have the expos towards the outside, not just to protect the outside buildings, but also because expos only do 80 DPS, so it's better for me to have my Tesla close to the Town Hall than my expos. For the most part, all of my outside buildings, not all of them, there's a couple that can be taken with just 1 minions. Mostly it's the army camps. The army camps can be taken with 1 minion. But other than that, there's maybe 1, 2, 3 buildings that can be taken just with a single minion. So overall, I'm not giving up too much percentage. This player right here, Ghost44, wasn't even able to get 30% with an air attack. Let's see if Gato can do any better, but if I'm showing this, you probably can't. Quattro Lava Lunion. This is strong. This is a powerful army, but I have minions in my clan castle because a reliable source told me minions is good against air, so I've decided to fill my clan castle with minions sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And even just from that single balloon, he screwed himself over for the most part, because guess what? That 1 balloon triggered 2 separate skeleton traps. If he hadn't deployed that 1 balloon all the way off to the right, he would not have triggered them, would not have to deal with them, and then wouldn't have lost a lot of balloons. He's down to 31% with no troops. 34%, and all he has is heroes who aren't maxed. He's got 35%. It is possible to get 50% from here. Maybe needing maxed heroes, maybe not. Okay, you don't want to deploy your queen right there in this case. There's all those free buildings around the outside all over the place. What he should have done is probably deployed it all the way on the right, so he'd only have to deal with 1 mortar. Although he could end up triggering my queen, he could always go for the bottom as well. And by deploying the king up top, it seemed like a good idea. But once he got to that corner, especially because the archer queen was there breaking all the stuff, he screwed himself over. His king went for the wall. If he had either not deployed his archer queen there, or had deployed his king somewhere else, his king would not have got stuck on a wall. 46%, 4% off, even with slightly higher level heroes, or you know what, maybe not deploying them in the same place, he could have gotten the 50%. So this right here is my last successful defense before the update. I have that right up there. Later on I tried moving a Tesla up there, but I didn't get the chance to test it out. Putting a Tesla up there would probably help with minions picking off just that cannon, which is a smart thing to do. He's picking off just the cannon. He can deploy an archer down there or something, take out like 2, 3 extra buildings. He's just going to be picking off slowly, and this is the mark of a good attacker. Pick off slowly whatever you can before going in. I don't have too much he can pick off. Like I said before, it's only a couple buildings, so that's all he could get before he started. Coming in from the corner. Now this side has almost no traps at all, so it should be a good target. But he messes up the freeze spell right there. Could have frozen one of those air defenses. Combine that with the fact that he did not properly dispose of all of my clan castle troops, all of my little skeleton minions. He's going to have a little bit of an issue. And now he's just going to get stuck, because guess what? As soon as the minions go for the witches, they're stuck on the witches, and as soon as they go for the witches, well, if they had survived, they would have gone for the skeletons, which would have killed them all. 34%, but he has both of his heroes and 17 minions left. We saw from that attack before, that is enough to get a 50% with lower level heroes, and he has 2 spells left. So what is he going to do to try to get that 50%, to try and beat this base? He's going for the top, not the best thing to do, especially with all the skeleton minions right there, and my king still right there. Deploys all of the minions. He seems dead set on my elixir, but he's not really farming me. He's not trying to farm me. He's going for the elixir because he thinks he can get the 50% and the elixir. But that is going to be his downfall. His minions are pulled right in next to the wizard tower. The wizard tower was on the queen, but as soon as he cloaked the queen, it swapped to his minions, killed a bunch of minions, and now his queen's 46%, already wasted her ability. Got a freeze there, but he didn't freeze the thing that's doing the most damage. And he's out of everything. All he has left is one archer that's just shooting a wall right there. 49%. So I said that the new update ruined this defense. It ruined this base. And I'll show you why. How can a base that already defends against air be bad at defending against air when you get a buff to defending against air? How does that work? It's because there's no place to put it. This base has zero place to put it. That place right there, I tried it out, and I put all the traps back behind it, which you're going to see works. It works. But he can freeze my air sweeper, he can freeze my inferno tower, and he can freeze my air defense all at once. And that's just not something I want to risk. This base was built to defend against air, and a buff to defending against air made it obsolete. It's kind of counterintuitive, but when you think about it, it makes sense. It's great for defending against air until you add in this extra defense that you have to worry about. You don't want to just throw it to the outside just because you don't need it. That is just bad planning, because when you get a guy you need it for, which is very rarely, they're just going to break it before even getting into the base. Just like I did in that other video, in the how-to video for this, where I just walked right in with one golem with shattered Lavahound. It was supposed to be shattered, but I lost a golem, so I guess it technically became cold-blooded. Went in, destroyed it with one golem in my heroes, destroyed a bunch of other stuff, and made it useless. So I'm going to have to redesign a whole new base just for this, because this base, although it works great, when you need it, it's not going to work. Which is very rarely, but still, when you need it, it's not going to work. I defended against a lot of air attacks. These are not the only wins against air attacks. And still, I'm going to have to redesign the base. Even though I won like 7 defenses against air, maybe more, probably like 10. I'm going to have to redesign my base entirely. I'm going to be trying a bunch of new bases. And it's going to take me a while before I find one as good as this. I was really happy with this base. And now I feel the need to get rid of it just because I can't place one of my defenses. I have no place for it. So this base, at least for me, is ruined. If you want to use it, that's fine. It still defends. But it doesn't live up to its full potential because we've got a new defense that it can't even use. Other than that, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Tyrael, out.